Okay guys, our next type of error that we're going to have to watch out for are verb tenses. So verb tense errors are going to show up on the test. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go over 6 verb tenses. And we're going to use very similar sentences. So all the sentences that I wrote out have to do with me and going to class. So I blank to class every day, and we want it to be in present tense. So I would say that I go to class every day. So I go to class every day. If it was a third person, so Henry goes to class every day. Either way. Past tense, I blank to class yesterday. I went to class yesterday. And that would be the same if it was a third person. Future tense, I blank to class tomorrow. I will go to class tomorrow. Present perfect. Now here's where it gets a little bit more tricky. You guys use the perfect tenses all the time, but for a good number of you, you haven't actually been taught the perfect tenses in quite some time, or when you were taught the perfect tenses, it might not have been, a very long lesson, or basically not drilled into your head quite enough. A lot of times students talk about how they haven't really been taught just pure grammar in quite some time, unless they're talking about French class, Spanish class, Latin class, etc. So a lot of times the perfect tenses, there's something that you'll think of more as, oh, these are, the perfectos, basically. So, perfecto pasado and that sort of thing. You're looking at perfect tenses in Spanish, or same thing goes for any other foreign language. So the idea with a perfect tense is that there's a past and whatever the first word is. So present perfect means present past. So I blank to every class so far. The past is all the classes have happened in the past, and we're saying as of right now, this very second, I have gone to every class so far. So notice gone, that is past, and then it has the helping have, which indicates that it is happening right now. So I have gone to every class so far. Future perfect, same idea, but it's future and past. So by next month, which is in the future, I will have gone to every class session so far. So I will have gone. And a note on present perfect, if this was in the third person, it would be slightly different. It would be Henry has gone. So if it's third person, it's not have, it's has. But that changes when you have the subject be I. Okay, past perfect is 2 past time periods, and they're not the same past time period. So by last month, I blank to every class session. So all the other class sessions have been in the deeper past. So let's say the class sessions go from September until a month ago. That's past. And then the month ago is a different past time period. So by last month, I had gone to every class session. So we have go, went, will go, have gone, if it was third person, has gone, will have gone, and had gone. So anytime you see a has, have, or had in a sentence, just make sure that there's a past and then there's either a present, a future, or a different past in the same sentence. And now we've got irregular verbs, because unfortunately the English language is chock full of irregularities. So for every rule we always have some exceptions. So the nice thing about some of the irregular verbs is that most of them are fairly common in terms of the ones that they're going to test you on. So For instance, do. Do, did, and then done. So I did something in the past. I had done something, or he has done, or will have done. So the first column, we're looking at present, the next is past, and then the next is past participle. So what that means is it's in the perfect tenses. It uses a has, a had, or have before the verb. So begin, began, begun, do, did, done, drive, drove, driven, take, took, taken. Those ones you probably use fairly often. The weird one, and why I chose to include it, because there are plenty of other irregular verbs that I could write down. They take up a lot of room. Is swim, swam, swum. So I had swum sounds pretty strange, but it's actually grammatically correct. So watch out for things like that. And there are plenty of irregular verbs out there. Ring, for instance, is ring, rang, rung. Know is know, knew, known. There's a lot of them. But the idea is that the ones they're going to test you on are like the list that I put down here. They're pretty normal verbs. So they're not going to pick a verb that you don't even know the meaning of that's irregular and use its irregular form, because that's a little too tricky and not the most fair thing that they could do. So watch out for these sorts of more normal irregular verbs.